Welcome to day 6 of our 30 days AI automation challenge. Today, we are going to be building a simple chatbot using OpenAI's API keys to create a chat. So, when users chat using that chatbot, it will rely on ChatGPT to respond to their questions. And you can even install or put this particular chatbot on your own website as a widget. So people can go to your website and they can ask it questions. Let's just get right into it. So we are using the cloud. I don't know, a lot of us are just repeating the same thing over and over again. If you're having issues with your Docker, use the cloud. I've given out enough troubleshooting methods for your Docker. You can check out the videos on that. But if you're unable to fix it, use the cloud for now. And that's what I'm even using now again, right? So the first step now, we want to add what we call on chat message. That's going to be our trigger. So let us add on chat message, and I've added that. Okay, look at how to configure it. It is asking me, do I want to make the chat publicly available? By default, you see that it's not on, meaning it's just going to be live inside the n8n here. But if I want it to be publicly available, meaning I want to put it somewhere else, probably on my website, I want it to be there so people can chat with it from there, then I can turn it to publicly available. Let's do that so that I can demonstrate and put a link on the browser, and you will see how others will be able to see my chat. But you can always configure the interface, wrap it around your HTML. So this is the URL for this particular chat publicly now. We'll come back there. Then the mode says hosted chat. Just leave it there. Authentication none. You don't want people to, start signing up or doing something before they use it. Then the initial message that the chat will see, the chat will, display when people get to your chat bot. You want it to say, oh, hello, I am something something. How can I help you? So let me just edit this to hello, I am Olalekan, your AI automation assistant. Okay, so let me just stop there. How can I assist you today? That's what I want you to see when you launch my chatbot. And think that's all. That's all here. Let's just leave it that way. If I click on test chat, it will show me the chat here. See, it's giving me an opportunity to see my chat here and then just test it out. Okay, but that's not where we're going. So we've added the first node here, which is when chat message received. When somebody drops a message in here, what should happen? So we are adding the next node, which is OpenAI. So I'm searching for OpenAI and look at it. The good thing is n8n has given you 100 credits. OpenAI's credit for free. So for all of you that just signed up on n8n, you will be able to use the OpenAI's API keys for free. Later on, I will still show you how to generate your own API keys. So let me just show you my other account here. Okay. So when you log into your own account, you will see this. When you click on that OpenAI node that I selected, you will see get 100 free OpenAI credits. Then you just claim it. That's all. Once you claim it, you will be able to use it. So let me come to OpenAI here and choose message a model because I want the message to be sent to a model. So look at it here, credentials to connect with. I am using the free one. So I already said when you get to this stage, you will see claim the 100 and you can just claim it here. You will see it somewhere here. Then you can use it as your own credentials. Again, I will show you how to generate your own API keys later. So we have connected to OpenAI and say we want to use ChatGPT to respond to the chat. The resource, leave it as text. We're dealing with text. You can see that you've got image, audio, conversion, video file here, but we are dealing with text for now. Operation, message a model. That is what we selected. We want to message the chat GPT and then we want to get a response. There are other operations here. You want it to help you classify text for violations. So in case your chatbot is looking up for messages and then help you to classify it, maybe this particular message is good to go or you want to filter it out. Maybe when somebody drops a message that is adult 18 plus, you want it to classify it or something, but just leave it at message a model. Then there is a model here. I've created a lot of videos about model. So where we have many GPTs here, 4.1, 4, 5, and so on. So you can just go with the list here. You can do the job. If you go with 4.0 or 4.1, it's okay. By the time you start using your own API keys, you will understand what this means. The GPT, I think the higher the API credit it will consume, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're just doing a simple chat, 4.1 should be fine to do the job. So I will select 4.1. Then the type of the message is what? Text, of course. So I'm saying, give me a text. Then the role. From the role here, if I click on this drop down, you've got three different roles here. User, that is, send the message as a user and get response from the model. Is that what we want? I would explain going forward. You will soon see that. There is an assistant. You can create assistant on OpenAI's playground, whereby you will have configured it. You've told the model to adopt specific tone and personality. You can create different personalities on your OpenAI's playground, and then you can use the personalities here. But what we want to do is to use the system, the system prompt, whereby we will be the one to tell this particular chart here how to behave, the role it should adopt. Okay, so I'm saying system, adopt a system role here. And what is the role? I will put a prompt here and tell it how I want it to respond. I've done a lot of videos around how to get the best out of all these models in terms of role play. You give it context, you tell it examples, a whole lot of things. So here I'll put my prompt here and look at help here saying the content of the message to be sent. So let me just write something there and say, you are an expert in n8n AI automation and knows how to break down complex concepts, complex concepts, and also guide users step by step on how to solve any n8n problem. Okay, so I've written the system prompt. So I'm simply saying, this chart, this is who you are. Don't forget, while I was configuring the on chat message, I said, I am Olalekan, your AI automation expert. Okay. So I'm now giving ChatGPT the prompt here that this is who you are. So I've configured that. I can scroll down. Then I need to configure it and say, what should you be acting on? Don't forget, users should be able to type in their questions. And then I want OpenAI here to respond to their questions as an expert. So I will add a message here. Add a message. So this time around, the message is going to take a user role, meaning who is using the chat is the user, not the system. The system prompt is trying to personalize the chat and say this is who you are. Then the message I want ChatGPT to respond to, is coming from the user, right? And then what is the prompt? The prompt is going to be in form of a variable. It's going to be dynamic. It is whatever that is being fed into the chat that should be worked on. And that will change depending on who is chatting at every point in time. So we need a variable. Let's execute the first node so that it will give us the input that we can use as our variables there. So let's execute it. So let's execute this. It has executed it here. Let me just type anything. How do I add trigger? Okay, I just want to add one prompt. So I typed that. You see, workflow executed successfully because unlike the trigger we used yesterday that it was on form submission, but this one is when chat message received. So to start the trigger, I had to type this chat and then it ran and then it moves from here to here. So let's come back here now. Okay, so this is the input coming from the chat. We've not finished configuring this because the chat now is still not there. What should it work on? It should work on whatever the person types inside the chat input. So I'll drag the chat input inside the prompt, and that will change anytime you send in another message. So how do I add triggers? I've added the variable as the prompt. Look at it. How do I add triggers? So if I run it again, if the person puts in another chat, that is what will be fed inside the OpenAI here, and it will work on it as an expert. So let's execute this and check out the output. So it is responding to this question now. How do I add triggers? So it will give us an output. Node executed successfully. Let's check the response. Adding triggers in n8n is the first step to automate workflow. You see, it is responding. So let me close this now. So this is a simple, very, very basic, right? So let's run it again. How do we run it? When chat message received. So let me put another thing here. I want to automate Facebook daily posts. Okay, that's another chat. I send it. This one ran. It's in there now. It's trying to send a message to OpenAI, that's ChatGPT, and then it's going to respond. Workflow executed successfully. So the output is somewhere here. If we double click this now, and come here, you will still see it. Great. Automating daily Facebook posts using n8n is definitely possible, and I can guide you through the process. What you need before starting. So it's already guiding you. So this is a simple kind of chatbot. Again, we are not rushing. We just want to take it step by step. We will, going forward, use AI agents and start building something a bit more complex now that at least we're getting a bit more comfortable with this. So let me demonstrate it outside anything. So let's come back to when chat message and copy the public URL here. So if I copy this now, let me just come to another tab here and paste it there. So if I run this, it will not run. Why? Because my um, workflow is not live yet. So let me close this. So everything I've done here is still just in my own draft, sort of, until I click on publish. So if I click on publish now, then it has published this version. I say publish, then we are fine. So let's come back here and refresh. Look at it now. This is now a chatbot. And as well improve on this chatbot and add our own document. We are still going to do that. When we add our document, we will be creating what we call RAG, retrieval augmented generation. We are going to add that, and then we want to upload probably all our FAQs and every other thing so that when we are asking it questions, it's working based on that. So this is what we will be doing today. So our assignment for today is just to demonstrate this. demonstrate this, continue to engage, and we'll pick it up from there tomorrow.